everyone listening, our pod squad. It's Lindsay the Stager. Here I am with From the Floor Up, Floridly Design. It's design time! Guess who I have on the show today? My friend and fellow stager, Sherrie Medeiros. She owns First Impression Home Staging. My Sherrie.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Wilson, and you're watching the Design Time From the Floor Up video podcast.
Hey, Sherrie!
Hey, friend, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm all like jacked up on coffee and sugar for the holidays because
Right?
somebody asked me in my step class the other day, "So how are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm a mother and a business owner. I'm exhausted and broke, and it's Christmas.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. What is it? The 21st of December?
Four more sleeps."
I just did my holiday shopping yesterday. So there's that.
Oh. I'm a bit more organized this year because we had like the whole family thing last weekend, which was like crazy, going to Rocky Mount, coming back, because I'm married to what I like to call the occasional Jew, but his mother, who is the Jewish one, like still puts up a whole tree and celebrates like we are celebrating the birth of baby Jesus in the Jewish household.
I
So
love
we had
it.
to do all of that last weekend and we did it and it's over. So
Yeah.
okay, now it's time for
Yes.
Santa to come in 4 more sleeps. Thank God, because I don't have any more ideas left for Harold. That's our elf.
Gotcha. Gotcha. We never
Your children are
did
too
the
old to
elf.
do Elf on the Shelf.
Yes.
I know. You're so
Yes.
lucky that you made it out as the sliding glass doors were closing because your children are how old?
They are 18 and 21. I can't believe I'm
See,
old enough
you're
to
a lucky
have kids
ducky.
that age.
I can't either, but that's how old my children should be. I should not be this age at almost 40 fucking 8 and have a 9-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. It's ridiculous
Except
that
that
I'm
you
still running around
barely
like a
look.
crazy person.
You barely look 38 though, so you're all good.
Whatever.
Everything happens for a reason, friend.
Um, oh, thanks. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself every day that I look in the mirror. Um, what do you do? Tell everybody. I mean, I know what you do. You're a fellow stager, but I want them to know what kind of stager you are because it's different than what I do. So what is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our focus is a little more on vacant homes. So we have a full warehouse, 5,000 square feet of warehouse of inventory. So we've got furniture, art, accessories, area rugs,
Cherie,
lamps,
that's
floor
a
lamps,
lot of
trees.
stuff.
There's a lot of stuff here. Yes. But when you're staging as much as we have over the summer, we had at one point, I think we had about 23 houses of furniture out. That's a lot of stuff.
Holy
So,
crap.
yeah,
So
this
is
year
that
was
the
a year of
norm?
growth
Like
for sure.
what is the usual? Like how many houses do you usually have?
It goes up year after year. So technically, we are finishing out our third year in business. So, last year, I think at max, we maybe had 9 houses out. This year, we maxed out at about 23.
Holy crap. You must have a lot of little elves working for
Oh my
you to
gosh.
make that happen.
I
How many
can't
people
do
work for you?
this without my elves. There are a total of 10
Yeah,
of us. So some of them
I
are
would
full
think there would
time
be
and some are
more.
part time. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of reorganization this year, but just in everybody's roles and how we're going to do it. But yeah, there's about 10 of us that are here. And we are in the summertime, it's everybody, all hands on deck, almost every day. Spring and summer, I should say.
Why do you think summer is so busy?
That's when everybody wants to move. They want to get their kids
Right, because
settled
they
into
got to
their new
be
schools.
right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I
So,
don't know if you know this, but I have interviewed Bobby and Dawn before you.
mm-hmm.
And last podcast we interviewed Dawn. That's not going to go well because this is going to be maybe out of order with everything, but we were talking about how well she delegates. And you must be a good delegator too, to tell all of your elves what to do and how and where and when. Do
Yeah,
you ever make anybody carry a clipboard and write down what you say?
No, but that's a really good idea. Nope, we
I'm
don't
full of
do
them.
that.
Just ask me.
Love it. Yeah, no, I have leads for pretty much every portion of the job that needs to get done so that I'm really here to oversee the whole thing. I have a lead stager, as you know. We've got lead warehouse crew members. So they're the ones that are kind of handling the project so that I can be here running the business and being the face of the company.
Um, if you have 5,000 square feet, I would just like to explain this to all of our pod squad. If you have 5,000 square feet of stuff and you have 23 houses, that's a lot of overhead. You got to pay for the warehouse, you got to pay for the movers, you got to pay for your elves, you got to pay for the furniture. If you need another rug, if you get a scratch on the wooden credenza that you can't cover up with a marker, there's a lot of money that you have to put in this
Yeah.
before you get paid, isn't there?
Yeah. And if anything breaks, and yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
So do you make any money doing this?
I did get to pay myself this year for the first time, which was nice. And I'm hoping
I'm
next year is going to be, will be better. This year, we still had to purchase a lot of furniture to be able to handle all of those houses. So I'm hoping this year we kind of level out a little bit with the number of houses that we do so that we can continue to improve on our systems and make sure that everything is running smoothly before we expand anything else, which I'm not
I hope you get
looking
a
to do.
Christmas bonus because you deserve it. You work so hard.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
sorry
so
if that was
sweet.
inappropriate to ask if you've made any money. That's what I do.
It's okay. It's okay. I get it. I mean, there's a lot of
Everybody in the
money that.
South says, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying when you have a vacant home staging business, it always is a really large upfront investment, which is exactly what we expected. So we're not surprised by any of it, but you have to purchase all of that inventory to start in order to get those houses staged.
Totally. And that's what I want people to know. Like people that are like, I want to be a ballerina. I want to be oh, I know, a vacant home stager. You need to start with a shit ton of money
Mm-hmm.
to be able to floor that.
Yeah,
Hear that punny part that I put in there?
I heard
So
that.
that you can start this business. It's completely different from what I do. I just go in and use what people have, and I don't have to deal with anything, which is much easier for me because, God only gives you what you can handle, and that's all I can handle. I can't deal
Right.
with anything else. Do you think that you'll get more space? Like more than 5,000 square feet? What if you had two of those, Cherie?
Oh gosh. Um, Eventually, we might. Right now, we use literally every square inch of our space. We've got furniture stacked basically three high, so there's three spaces to put things, right? Because
Sofas?
we have to build up, right? We keep all of our sofas ground level. The lighter items go up at the top, right? So dining room chairs are all up on that top. The middle levels have more like the side tables and the nightstands and things like that. And then the bottom level has the heavier things like the bigger occasional chairs and our dressers and larger consoles so that it's easier for the guys to take in and out. It's a
For me
lot of
being as
work and
OCD as I
management.
am, yeah, that's an organization that I don't even want to touch. So let me ask you this. I think that we should talk about today, like, we're closing out this year. 2022 is in the books, man. It's over.
Yes.
Today
Yes.
is Daisy's last day of school in 2022. I'm
Oh.
like, you're coming back next year, dude. What I want to talk about, though, is if there are mothers, women, men, transgender, Jews, Christians, Muslims, children listening to this podcast, what would you tell them that you would do the same because it was successful for you this year in any aspect? Like, I have a few things that have nothing to do with staging that I'm going to say, but what would you make stay the same in life that you've learned that worked?
That's a really good
Is that too hard to put
question.
you on the spot like that?
You
It
know,
is?
I would actually
Good.
think that it would be. However, the first thing that I can say is be flexible. Expect the unexpected and deal with it, and deal with it with
You mean like
grace.
put your legs behind your head? Like,
Only you.
you mean like how
Yeah.
flexible do you want me to be?
So know
Hey,
that.
while we're on flexibility, what?
Go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say, segue while we're on flexibility. You want to twerk about something? Look at my pants.
So cute. They match your tree. Look at that. Oh,
My rig just fell. Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh my God. All right, keep talking. I'll fix it.
So no, about being
And I'm
flexible
back. I'm back.
is expect that unexpected, right? Things happen all the time and things don't always go your way. And that's totally okay, right? In life, in business, in friendships, in marriage, in parenting, it like whatever it is, you always have an expectation, but reality is it's going to be different. Be okay with it and adjust, and everything is going to be okay. Come up with a plan B on the spot if you have to.
I love that you answered like that. I never have a plan B. Look around you. But what made you get to the point where you decided to be flexible? Like, did something happen that you were
Oh,
so sure of it was going to be one way and then you freaked the fuck out? What happened?
yes. It actually, it's funny that you say that. Because I know the exact moment that my whole life changed. So a few years ago, let's see, my youngest went into middle school and my oldest is going into high school, and we decided to homeschool for reasons that are unlike maybe other people. It was just to have the flexibility of being able to be with my husband because he was working out of town. So it was just going to be this short term thing. As it turns out, my kids love homeschooling, so we stuck with it. And when I was at an event with other homeschoolers, one of the moms asked me, like, oh, what do your kids want to be when they grow up? And I was like, oh, shit. They're only like in seventh grade and 10th grade. Maybe I should know that. So I literally turned to them and I said, hey, boys, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? And without skipping a beat, both of them said, happy.
Aw, damn it. I thought they were going to say vacant stagers, but okay, keep going.
And I thought, oh crap, they're right. That's exactly what this should be. Life should be about being happy, not about like being super successful or having all the money or whatever, or living up
That's
to
such a
everybody
great
else's
answer. It's such a great lesson
expectations.
at Christmas.
Right is
I
just
love that.
freaking be happy. Do what you want to do. Whatever it is that you're doing, be happy with that. I started my business a couple of years later, and I like my whole outlook on everything really did change.
That's amazing.
It was great.
Cherie and I know each other because we used to have this little group called RISA, Real Estate Staging Association. And it's me and my besties. We
Mm-hmm.
are stagers
Mm-hmm.
and really good friends, and it's the five of us. Bobby started all of us in it, and then she got like so big that she had to go national or something.
I know. We
But
still love her.
we kept, I know, and she was on this show too. It was awesome. You should watch it.
I did actually.
Anyway, oh, you did? You did?
I watched a few segments of it. Yes, I did. So I
Okay,
want to
good.
go back and watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we kept RISA going even through the pandemic. As you know, River was born the day the pandemic began. We
Mm-hmm.
hightailed it to the beach. Here I am, like, trying to hold this Zoom meeting and find a speaker that's going to stimulate all of us and breastfeed at the same time. And we made it, we held it together. And I think one of the things that I've learned, if you're going to go with flexible, this is not even one of the three things that I was going to say, but it reminds me of just not having so much on our plates.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best year I've had as a stager, and it's not because
Yay.
of RISA. I still have my best friends. We still have our best clients. We still work hard. We still have
Mm-hmm.
our expertise to share. And thank God people take our recommendations. But I just remember there was so much on my plate. Being a 45-year-old with a newborn and the pandemic has started and Daisy's out of school and I'm homeschooling and trying to be the president of RISA. I don't know how I got that role, but I did. And I just feel like I also used to spend way too much money on paper advertisements. Like country clubs would call me and be like, "Do you want Lindsay the Stager to be in our magazine?" And I'm like, "Yes! Here's $700." Nobody ever read that magazine like ever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we need to like take into consideration like where to spend the money and where to
Mm-hmm.
spend our most valuable asset, which is our time. Where do we spend our time?
Yes.
Is it doing RISA or should I just breastfeed without you guys watching me do that? You know?
Right. Right.
But what is the thing that, well, let me just say, I don't mean to talk so much, but I want to get off my chest one of the three things that I was going to say, which I think is a good, what's the opposite of hack for life? Like if there's a life hack, what's the opposite of life? Does hack mean like not to do it or do it?
It's kind of a no. It's a do it, but doing it easier, doing it working smarter, not
Okay,
harder.
right.
Right.
So this is a life
Right. Is
hack.
that
So my first life hack is if you are going through a home renovation or a remodel and you need to move out, don't do it too early. I thought, I know,
mm,
I'll vacate the home and I'll have the family situated so that I can relax and go to Maine for a vacation, and then we'll come back to the apartment and then we'll get the show on the road. Oh my God. I moved us out the middle of July. We were supposed to have the renovation finished by Christmas. I'm sorry, what day is it?
yeah.
Where am I?
Yeah. Oh
I moved
goodness.
us out too soon
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't start working until late September.
Wow.
Hashtag frustration, Merry Christmas. The end. That's all I'm going to say. The next question that I have for you is if that's what you would keep the same because it's working, being flexible, what would you change in your new year of being Sherrie Medeiros, the amazing vacant stager with your 5,000 square feet of stuff?
Thank you to my team. Because this would not be happening without them. No way, no how. So, what would I change? Um,
Yes.
my goal for next year is to get back to me and
Oh, I
gain
love
some of
that.
my time back, right? Some of the time that I've, I don't want to say I've lost, but that I've invested in my company. Because once I decided to start it, it was literally hyper focus. Everything was about the business and about the team members and getting them built up. Well, I'm at a point now that my lead stager can stage a home and she doesn't need me, right? Every once in a while, there's like a strange floor plan that we may need to come together on. Um, but for the most part, she's got this. I have an admin now that can answer my phone so that I know that calls are being answered during the day
Ah, thank
and
God you have that.
messages, right? Like, could not do this without all of them because what was happening is if I needed to be on site for a stage, I was there all day. And at the end of the day, I'm returning calls. And then at night, I'm returning emails. And then I'm working on, after that, just regular business stuff, the financials, the schedule, the logistics, whatever it is, until
Yeah.
12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then doing it all over and missing out on time with my husband and my kids as a family. And this year, we're going to change that. So I've already been working on
Valuable
that the last
advice
couple weeks.
because, yes, valuable advice because
Mm-hmm.
you have worked for that and you've earned the time to give back to yourself. I think what people need to realize is that life is not about a microwavable dinner. You need to
Mm-hmm.
spend time making the sauce from scratch. And that can take 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the spaghetti sauce. I would just pour it out of a jar, but I would still heat it up on the stove. Do you know what I mean? People need to understand that it does take 3 to 5 years to make this happen.
Absolutely.
before you start seeing the results and getting it back. You just have to be patient.
The Design Time from the Flora podcast is sponsored by Florally, your premier source for designer-inspired floors. Use Florally's live chat with real human beings to answer your flooring questions and even book a free in-home consultation.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you can get back to yourself. You know what you should start with? I agree with you, and I did the same thing. I started a membership at Massage Envy.
Yeah.
And if you can get massaged by a very strong man who puts his elbow in your ass, we hold so much tension in our asses.
Oh,
And if he
how
can just like
funny.
rub it out like that,
You
it
know,
rubs out the fascia, the bad toxins,
yeah.
including like where our brains go.
I had
And so
done
you
that
to get back to
before.
yourself.
I had done that before, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I guess I don't love massages, but I do have I have credits at a float spa. So I don't know if you've ever done a float where you're like in this bathtub of Epsom salt. It's like 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in, I think it's 6 inches of water, and you're in your own little private pod. It is just an amazing experience. It takes about 3 to 4 times of going before you get into that whole, they call it like Zen mode, and where you're fully relaxed. But I tell you what, the very first time that I went because I was having, remember, my famous back problems, and
Yes.
remember, and I was really hoping that it was going to help with that. It did. It helped my muscles, like my legs weren't cramped anymore. It just didn't take away that sciatic pain. But what it did help with was, at the time I could only lift my arm about this high because I was having like frozen shoulder symptoms. But right after that appointment, I was like, oh my gosh, I can lift my arm. And I was so excited.
Cherie,
Like,
this is brand new information.
it was
I've never heard of
amazing.
a float spa.
Oh, I had not either.
Where'd you
And
go for this?
okay, well, I will tell you the reason why I know of this one is because the owner called me before she ever opened it up, and she says, "Hey, I need help with designing my space. I've got these cool acrylic oceany looking floors. Can you help me decorate this and furnish it?" And I'm like, "We got this." So that's exactly what we did, is helped her with that. And yep, and so
And did
that's
she
why I
pay
know
you
about
with
it.
float spas?
Oh, she just paid us. But we do go. We
Could
do
you
go.
imagine
So
that kind of a barter?
I know, right?
I'll give you free float spas for the rest of your life if you
Oh
could
my
just decorate my
gosh.
space.
Right, right.
Would you take that?
So
Would you do that?
I might do it. It's about this.
I
Well, no,
would
it's not
too.
quite
If
as
somebody,
expensive as a massage, but it's good and it's worth it.
yeah, if
It's so
somebody said,
nice.
I'll give you massages for the rest of your life if you decorate my home, I would be like, okay. Wait,
Done.
hold on, let me think about that. Okay.
Yeah, here's my arm. Let me help you twist it.
I know, right? Um, well, that's really cool. A float spa. But did you say it did or did not help you with the sciatica? Because I need
It
that.
just, the sciatic pain didn't go away, but the reason why it didn't go away was because my disc was like nearly completely herniated and it had ruptured. So I only have like maybe a fourth
Terrible.
of the disc left because I did have to go in for surgery. There was nothing that any amount of therapy was going to do for
Right. It
that.
was like an underlying problem.
Oh yeah, it was beyond help by that point. So just
Are
didn't
you
know.
feeling better? Is your back better now?
Yes, yes, definitely. I
I'm
probably
so glad.
never,
I mean,
me
Pod
too.
Squad, there was a time when Cherie was in like serious, terrible pain.
I wasn't walking. That final week
No,
before
that's
surgery,
ridiculous.
yeah, that final week, I wasn't walking at all. I was in a wheelchair trying to run a business from the house. And thank goodness, like, that was one of those points in my um, business ownership life that I was like, thank God I've got a team that can pick up the pieces when I am quite literally down. And they handled
It's
it.
amazing.
And they
I'm
did
so
they
glad
did
that
so
you're
awesome.
not in pain anymore because that's
No,
terrible.
yeah, definitely no more pain. I'll probably never be 100% like what it was. I think my hockey days are numbered. Um, I can just hang up those skates now. I think I'm done. Never mind the age because I'm older
HE
than
double hockey
you.
sticks. Hang
Yeah,
those up.
yeah, they're going
Um,
away.
Also, back to like you're getting back to yourself. Like, okay, so let's not be in pain with your back. Let's have massages. I think also if you can't see like what happens to you after you're like 43 and you've had 20/20 vision your whole life and you've never worn glasses and then all of a sudden I call it CSS. I can't see shit. Um, this past year I got contacts and it's changed my life.
Oh
However,
yeah,
I still need these sometimes.
for reading.
So, get back to yourself, right? Like the self care. Take care of yourself. Get the contacts, get the massage, get the pedicure. Um,
Yes.
okay. So, what I'm going to say about what works and what I love and what I want everybody to know about and run there or get on their phone and order immediately is could I get a drum roll, please?
Mm-hmm.
Target. Target is the best place ever for anything. The end. I am there every
Yeah.
day because I have to get front door mats because that's what I bring to my staged homes. And I don't just buy them in bulk. I like to go and pick out a certain mat for a certain home. Sometimes they need to be different. However, all of my clothes, this sweater, my Christmas
Your
pants,
pants.
these amazing clogs,
Love it.
they have the greatest clothes. They have the greatest food.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go to my favorite Target, which is the one at South Point in Durham. It's the best. It's new. They return everything. Um, I get my clothes there. I get my children's toys there from you know who.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have like a Target Circle thing, you can save money. And they say there's 25% off the toys just for today, but only you know that because you're in the club. It's so good.
I just ordered stuff from my phone last night using that Circle app, and because I have my debit card connected, I didn't even have to get my credit card out. I was
I
like,
know. They make it so
thank
easy.
you. Yes. So I'll just go
And
today
I
and
was
pick up my
looking for,
order. So I don't even have to
I
log
know,
in.
speaking of picking up your order, I had to have this top. Bikes and I went on a date night last Thursday, and I had to have this top because I wanted to look hip and cool at this French restaurant. Like anybody cares what I'm wearing, but I did.
You
So I
do.
needed it in a certain size, and they didn't have it at any Target. So I drove to like East Jesus to get this stupid top, but they had it and they brought it out to the parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
I just love Target. Target, you're welcome. No, I'm not an influencer or making any money off of this commercial whatsoever. But I do love you, and if you would like to hire me, that is okay.
Yep.
Another thing that happened to me at Target is I was staging for a client. It was my favorite client, Gary, who I've furnished all of his
Mm-hmm.
Airbnbs and
Mm-hmm.
rentals. We're still working on that, and now we're working on his personal home. So I'm
Love
standing in
it.
the line, and I have two carts. And don't you know, I've been standing in this line for 10 minutes. There's two registers open. That wasn't so good on your side, Target. But it's Christmas and I'm shopping and I've been standing there for 10 minutes. And the lady goes, I'm sorry, my line is closed. It's so unfair when they do that.
Oh, and you were in
So,
it?
this amazing, attractive, what?
I said, and you were
What?
already in the line?
Yes. She
Oh.
can't do that to me. I have two carts and I've been standing here the longest. So I stand there and I just look around like, well, what should I do? Steal everything? So this amazing, young, attractive black man with a beard and like a bald head, his name is Casey. He goes, I'll take you over here. And I'm like, thank you, Casey, because I was about to lose it. And so he starts running my things through and he goes, is this for staging? And I was like, yes, it is. How did you know that? And he's like, because my mother's a decorator, blah, blah, blah. We start talking. In like 5 seconds, we become best friends, like I do with everyone. I gave him my card. He gave me his. He's going to be in charge of my website next year.
That's amazing. That's
I know.
amazing.
And in
Yay.
another amazing tip that Casey taught me, I didn't think that I was going to say this, but it's an amazing tip that I didn't know about that I want to share with everyone. Here it is. Ready? There was this beautiful, ginormous wood herringbone mirror next to the dressing rooms. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Casey, do you know that mirror that I'm talking about? And he's like, yes. And I said, can I buy it? And he's like, no. Okay. But he took me over after I purchased everything and I have like all my carts and my bags. He like takes me over to that mirror and he takes me to the Google app. He says, if you take a picture of this mirror, it'll show you where you can get it.
Yep.
Hallelujah!
I
Is that a
just
Christmas
learned
miracle
that.
or what?
Yes, I just learned that a
That is
few months
so
ago.
amazing.
It is. It
You
is.
could take a picture of a book, a candle. I'm looking at the things that are around me. A Christmas tree, and you could figure out where to get them.
Yep. Yep. Love it.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Let's talk about Christmas trees. Are you a fake Christmas tree or are you a real one?
Oh,
If you were a Christmas tree, what would you be?
I would love, love, love a real one. If I had my way, I'd have a real one. However, because I'm allergic to everything under the sun, trees are included. So
Damn it.
I know. It is a bummer, but that's okay. So
Well,
the
you see this.
advantage though is the advantage of the artificial tree is this year. My tree went up on November 1st.
Oh, yes. That is
But
smart.
I love my Christmas tree. I love being able to decorate it. We've got so many decorations that pretty much every year the tree looks a little bit different. I'll go with like colors with either a color theme, or one year I went with the Santa theme or snowman theme, or combinations of colors or different combinations, and it's fun to do something a little bit different every year. And then like when the kids were younger, we still had smaller trees that they can decorate themselves. They can put it wherever they wanted to in the house, even their rooms if that's what they wanted, or in I want to say I had my big, when they were growing up, we lived in Maryland and we had like a big foyer, so my big tree, my special beautifully decorated tree was there. But then there was a family tree in the family room that the kids would decorate. And so we still got to have both experiences because I really needed my perfect little tree, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to like hurt their feelings, and they wanted to take part in the tree. And so it worked out good.
I know. And us being like staging perfectionists, we have to have it all even. But this year I kind of said, whatever. First of all, I have lived in Australia and they do not have Christmas trees there. Christmas trees come from North Carolina and someplace else. They don't make it over to Australia. So you have to have a fake Christmas tree in Australia, which was not okay with me. Red flag number one. This year, we had to get this like little tree that was still like $75 for the little tree. We have so many ornaments that they don't even fit on. But I just let the kids do it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I like how you say we always have a different theme. I am a I want to be able to depend on the tradition that I've always depended on. So it's always the same for us. However, when I married Bikes, he changed me from being a white light traditionalist Christmas tree decorator to adding the colored lights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've bought into that. I mean, it's pretty, but I do like the traditional. I do always put my red bows on.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at this. Oh my
The
God.
silver dollar ornament. Oh,
No,
it's
it's
the
Daisy's
baby
footprint.
feet. Oh my gosh.
Look.
Oh, baby girl.
I know,
Oh.
right? Daisy was born in Australia, hence me not having a Christmas tree there.
Yeah.
And that's why we left. Just kidding. Um, but then look at what River made. Here's the baby Jesus in the manger.
Oh my gosh.
He just made it this year. Oh my
So
God, I love this
sweet.
kind of stuff. It's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next
Yeah.
thing that I want to say is If you're a Christmas tree, you're going to be fake, but that's because you're allergic. Okay, fine. I will let that slide. Are you a buy your car or lease your car?
Buy. Never leased a
Buy.
car. Yep, I've never leased one.
Oh, this is such good conversation, and I didn't even mean for it to be, but I have a retort to that. Ready?
Yes.
So I guess I've just never had enough money all at the same time to buy a car because I spend it on shoes. And
Fair.
if I did buy a car, it would be like a very used car until this year. I leased my baby because I
Mm-hmm.
can't afford to buy it because it's a really nice, expensive car. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Jeep girl. I like the ruggedness. I think a car should tell about you. I like the rugged and the toughness, but I
Mm-hmm.
still feel like
Mm-hmm.
she's sophisticated. Cardi
Mm-hmm.
B, we call her.
Yes.
So I
I've been in
love
this
Cardi
car
B.
and it's beautiful.
That's right. Thank you. That's right. We went to High Point because that's what
Yes.
we do as stagers. It's
Yes.
like Christmas. Speaking of.
Yes. Definitely.
Um, but this is like a very, I guess, what does a new Jeep Grand Cherokee go for? Like something ridiculous, like $70,000. But I want to say, as another life hack, who cares? I'm always going to have a car payment because I'm never going to have enough money to buy a $70,000 car. I mean, I guess I could have car payments if I bought it, but I've never felt so safe and
Mm-hmm.
so taken care of because all of your oil changes are thrown in, they rotate your tires. So I have this like little car payment, which is like a 350 for this car,
Nice.
which
Yeah.
anybody can afford, I think.
Yeah.
And then I get to turn it in. I'm way over my mileage because I didn't think about that part, like I don't. So I'll probably have to pay that, but then I have the option of buying. And
Mm-hmm.
and then this whole conversation about why we should lease is obsolete. But that's what I want to say. Like leasing a car is okay and you can get what you want and nobody knows and you feel safe and you get to trade it
Yeah.
in. But
Yeah.
then there are people like you, so why do you buy? What's the
So
diff? Let's have a little debate.
no debate, no debate. I think leases are really smart for some people when it's right for them, right? Um, I found a really good deal on my car, and that is about my payment. And I was able to make that payment in about or have those payments for about 3 years. And I used the crap out of my car.
Me
It's
too.
a Volkswagen. What is this thing called? An Atlas. So it's
Yeah,
on the
that's nice.
inside. It's a really nice car. On the inside, it's about as big as my previous Suburban that I no lie had for 18 years. Can you believe I drove that thing for 18 years? It
How
was
many miles in
crazy.
the end?
In the end, not as many as you would think. It was 160,000 miles. So I didn't put that many miles on it. But remember, before I was the owner of First Impression Home Staging, I was a stay-home mom. So my driving was to kids events and to school and everything was very
Yes.
localized. So I wasn't driving like major distances. Now I am driving more distances and this car is great for me because it's comfortable to drive long distance and I can store a crap ton of stuff in the back
Right?
when I need
Totally.
to. We have
We
two.
need so much space when we're
Yes,
stagers. Even I
yes,
don't have a 5,000 square foot warehouse, but I have so much shit that is always in my car. And there's
yes.
never enough room. And I need
Yes,
a bigger
because
body.
we need
Not
we
like
have
for me,
big
but for my
tool
car.
bags. Yes, tool bags, moving
Yes.
blankets, a bucket or a bag, I should say, like
Steamers,
cleaning stuff, the
art,
steamer.
pillows. Oh, stop.
Yes,
We have so
light
much stuff.
bulbs. I mean, just all of the basics that we need to have as stagers, whether we're doing vacants or not. We have our tool bags of stuff, so we need to have a good heftier car, but also needs to
I
look
know.
great on the outside, right? Because we're driving around with this and we might have our logo on our vehicle. So we
I
need
do.
the car to
Yes.
look, I have a small one as well. So we need it to look nice. We don't want it to be, a junker or anything like
You
that.
can't pull
So
up to somebody's house and convince them that you're going to make it beautiful if you're driving in a shitstorm.
the hoopty. Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so I leased the car exactly a year ago. I got it on the last day of the year. Come to find out that my body is outdated. My body is outdated. Not my body. I mean, we all know that this is outdated. But my car body, my Grand Jeep Cherokee car body is outdated. And I
Uh,
cannot have that. And the new body has like 3 more feet, which is like totally up my
wow.
alley or up
Wow.
my ass. That's what I need. I
Mm-hmm.
need 3 more feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have to upgrade. The problem with leasing the car is people who are listening, my lovely pod squad, listen to Lindsay the Stager. When they tell you that you can have this amazing deal for $350 a month, and they ask you, how many miles do you drive a month or a year? And
Make
I
sure you know
say
that number.
20,000 because that is right.
Yeah.
And then I come home and I tell Bikes and I'm like, I got the greatest deal. They're going to give me a brand new car and it's only $350 a month. And he's like, what about the mileage? How much is the mileage for? And I'm like, what do you mean? So I like secretly call them and I'm like, what's that mileage for? And they're like, 10,000 miles a year. And I'm like, great, I'll take it.
Yep.
So I'm like 10,000 over.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
tell him that.
No,
I
I'm
will
sure
figure it
he
out. I will
won't be
either buy
listening.
it or
Yeah.
no, he's not going to listen to this. He's my husband. Are you kidding? Even when I like want to like trap him and be like, look at this beautiful home that I staged today, he's like so bored. As soon as
Oh
I
my
want to say
gosh.
like, look at this transformation, he's like, okay.
See, I'm very lucky. My
Anyway,
husband is actually part of our team. So he is interested in that. But the big question from him is when are you going to stage our home? And I'm like, dude, I'm like the
right?
mechanic. I don't have time for
Seriously.
our own house. I made time for my tree, but yeah, it's time for that is a big goal for me this year is to I've started revamping and replacing some of the furniture in my own home. Um,
I know. It's so
yeah,
hard. And
yeah,
as you know, I'm remodeling, so I get to choose all of my things
yeah,
now. But here's the deal, Cherie.
yeah.
I'm going to be a little dirty about this. If you're a gynecologist, you do not gonna want to come home and see another vagina. If you're a stager, you do not want to come home and decorate your own home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
sorry,
hard, but
gynecologists who are not getting laid. All right. Well, with that, we have to wrap it up.
aw, just like a
Can you
pretty
believe
Christmas
all that we
present.
just covered from what?
I said just like a pretty
What?
Christmas present with a bow, wrapping it up. I'm being silly.
Oh, you're right. No, that was good. Yes. But think about all that we wrapped up with a bow, from Target to vaginas to car leasing. I expect to hear endorsements from Grand Jeep Cherokee, Target, you know, just kidding.
Yeah, I know, huh?
For right now, it's just me and Cherie, my dear friend. And the thing
Yes.
about all of us as stagers, and I wonder if people are like, how does she like have friends with these people that they're all in like, aren't they in competition? No, we
No.
never have been because we
Nope.
all do it differently, which is so important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we can lean on each other when we need to, right? We've
That's
always
right.
got each
And
other's backs.
girlfriends make us all better as women.
100%.
What did you just say? I completely cut you off like I do.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, I was just saying we all have each other's backs, right?
Yeah,
Especially,
so
our core
important.
little group. Yes, you had a baby. I had back surgery. Somebody else, we've had like medical emergencies, family emergencies.
Divorces.
But we've got clients that still need us. And it's really nice to know that if I'm down and I can't go to a consultation, that I can contact one of my other stager friends and say, hey, can you cover this for me? Done.
When my water broke with River, I had a
Mm-hmm.
staging that day and the next day. My girls stepped in and staged for me. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you for being so awesome. Thank you for your friendship.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being on this podcast with me. I'm ready to rock
Yes.
2023 with you and everyone. I hope the
Same.
market balances. We've been so extreme lately. I just want it to be,
Yes.
but you know what?
Yes.
Here's another best part. Even if it doesn't, staging will always be in demand. It is always a necessity.
It
So
doesn't matter the
I leave
market.
you with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um, so, Pod Squad, I hope that you've learned about Target. leasing, vaginas, Christmas trees. I wish you the merriest Christmas. Sherrie, I will see you very soon when we get together with our girls to
Yay.
celebrate ourselves.
All things, yes.
Thanks for being on here with me, man.
Thank you.
Until next time, we are over and out.
Bye. Be happy.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you don't like it, then f off.